and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops.
And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, today's date is January 17th, 2021. Happy MLK Day to everybody out there. I thank you guys once again for checking out that video for our 2021 quarterback battle. Just keep in mind, guys, while I'm doing this podcast, you will hear a lot of things in the background. Please excuse me for that. But hey, it's MLK Day. This is the Homemade Podcast Sports, in which you're going to hear everything outside of my home. Hey, these kids are out of school. The parents are off of work, depending on what job, what company you work for and things like that. So, hey, man, just enjoy the day. It is beautiful out here. We're in the great city of Houston, Texas, people, and you cannot ask for much more with this weather that we have, all right? It's clear skies out here, and like I say, man, everybody is just out everywhere. It should be all kind of barbecues going on and everything, all kind of functions. Also, due to COVID-19, please limit the amount of people that you have over there, okay? But just excuse all the noise, but you guys should hear me all the way in what I'm talking about. So, guys, I'm sorry. Look at this. See, I told you. This is the kind of day that we're going to have, and where my paperwork is just flying everywhere. So please forgive me on that. But guys, man, on this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast Sports, we'll be getting into this Texas A&M roster going into 2021. Also, we're going to talk about the roster we had last year going into the roster on this year. We'll talk about the recruiting classes and everything, man. I just want to give you guys a clear rundown on who these guys are and when these guys came in, moving on to the future of Texas A&M. First off, the motivational quote for today, people, is be yourself. That's it. Just be yourself. Please take that and use it to the best of your ability and go out and do what you have to do. But be yourself. Do not stop being yourself for nobody. Now, if you have to change up a couple of things just to get you moving in the right direction, please, by all means, do so. But at the end of the day, be yourself. Okay? All right. So, guys, let's keep going on this one. First off, as you guys know, I am a big Houston Texan fan, okay? What we have going on with Deshaun Watson right now, man, I'm trying to block out all of that, but at the same time, I do understand where Deshaun Watson is coming from. Son, go ahead. You all right. This is my baby boy, y'all. He's out here with me. Go ahead. Go play. But, guys, I'm trying to block out all the noise, man. But, hey, I'm behind Deshaun Watson 100%. I just got something that said somebody got a leak from somewhere saying, hey, man, they're in contract talks with Eric Bieniemy to be the next Houston Texans head coach. That's it. You guys didn't hear it from me. You heard it from a source, but, hey, I hope we get him. Man, because we want Deshaun here in Houston. All right, please believe we want him and J.J. Watt here in Houston. All right. So, anywho, we're going to move on past from that. Shout out to the Aggies basketball team once again. Both of those guys are doing their thing, from the women's side of basketball to the men's side of basketball. They're all doing their thing. Also, shout out to the track star. I don't know her name. I can't remember her name, but she's 18 years old. She's a freshman. I think she won something, but shout out to her as well, all right? So anywho, guys, let's keep going here. Let's keep on moving along. So I need you guys to vision for a minute. I need you guys to put something in perspective in your head for a minute. What if I told you that Jimbo Fisher and his staff is building something at Texas A&M for the future and beyond? What if I told you that Jimbo Fisher and his staff is building a roster year in and year out for at least 10 years? Would you guys believe me or would you not? I need you guys to vision this. I need you guys to picture this in your head, and I'm gonna let you know where I'm coming from. And I'm get off of that. And I'm going to start as of now. I'm gonna give you a rundown on the roster we had for the 2020 season, the COVID-19 season, and our overall record was 9-1 overall, with a all-conference, with an all-SEC schedule. 8-1 in conference, 9-1 overall. The only team that was in front of us to have a better overall record, to have a better overall record was Alabama themselves. So once again, what if I told you that Jimbo Fisher is building something for the future and beyond? We were number 2 team in the SEC, period. We were number 2 team. All right, number 2 team that had the best record right behind Alabama. Coming into next year, it will be a battle between Alabama and Texas A&M for the West, but it will also be a battle between Alabama, Texas A&M, and Georgia to claim the SEC title. Okay? Once again, what if I told you that Jimbo Fisher and his staff was building something for the future and beyond? Everybody wanted to know, hey, what's he going to do with that big-time contract? Well, let's explain what he's doing, okay? Let's go ahead and get into it. So, guys, hey, I got all kind of paperwork because I wanted to give you guys a real rundown on what's going on, okay? So, hey, like I say, now this wind is just blowing. But I'm going to give you guys a rundown on the staff that we had for last year. And I'm going to name where these guys were from and everything. And anybody out there who's thinking that Texas A&M isn't recruiting the players from Texas like no other, because this is our state at the end of the day, where after I finish explaining all of this, this is going to prove that we're on a path of taking the state over. We're on a path of taking over Texas, okay, and claiming the state rights as a college football team, okay. So I want you guys to listen to me, but also I'm going to explain, I'm going to give you the rundown of where these kids are from to just let you know that we're also going national. We're not just staying in Texas. No. We're going national. All right. So listen to me. All right. So this is the roster from last year. And of course, some of these guys aren't coming back next year. You guys already know this, but this is the roster from last year. Devin Archain, running back, freshman, Fort Bend Marshall, Houston, Texas. Jamon Osmond, wide receiver, senior, IMG Academy. That's out there in Florida, but he was also from Houston, Texas. Kagan Baldry, fullback, redshirt senior, Carthage, Texas. High school was Carthage, Texas. Josh Bankhead, offensive guard, freshman, The Woodlands, Texas. Drake Bithia, place kicker, freshman, Houston, Texas. Elijah Blades, cornerback, senior, transfer, Pasadena, California. I just told you national. Connor Blumrick, running back, redshirt junior, Pearland, Texas. Andrew Borkin, wide receiver, junior, Austin, Texas. Renard Britt, quarterback, redshirt sophomore, Conroe, Texas. Keyshawn Brown, linebacker, Montgomery, Alabama. Bobby Brown III, defensive tackle, junior, Arlington, Texas. Cameron Buckley, wide receiver, senior, Cedar Hill, Texas. Daniel Bushland, wide receiver, sophomore, Austin, Texas. Zach Calzada, quarterback, redshirt freshman, Beaufort, Georgia. Keldrick Carper, safety, senior, Plain Dealing, Louisiana. Caleb Chapman, wide receiver, redshirt sophomore, Friendswood, Texas. Smart Chabizo, offensive center, freshman, Fresno, Texas. Connor Chewy, left side, redshirt sophomore, Coppell, Texas. Michael Clements, defensive end, Garland, Texas. Nick Castagnano, I don't know what PT is, but redshirt freshman, Melbourne, Australia. I believe that's a punter, if I'm not mistaken. Melbourne, Australia. Connor Cook, running back, redshirt freshman, Salado, Texas. Edrin Cooper, linebacker, freshman, Covington, Louisiana. Ernest Cronenberg, junior, transfer, Grandview, Texas. Baylor Cup, tight end, redshirt freshman, Brock, Texas. Caden Davis, place kicker, redshirt freshman, Coppell, Texas. Damon Dean, wide receiver, freshman, Tomball, Texas. Fidel Diggs, defensive end, freshman, East Camden, New Jersey. Antonio Doyle, linebacker, freshman, St. Louis, Missouri. Logan Fisher, quarterback, freshman, Bracketville, Texas. Trayvon Fuller, cornerback, Athens, Georgia. Galen Gallinger, offensive tackle, redshirt sophomore, Orange Grove, Texas. Brian George, cornerback, junior, transfer, Belgrade, Florida. Jacob Graham, left side, freshman, Houston, Texas. Carson Green, offensive tackle, senior, South Lake, Texas. Kenyon Green, offensive guard, sophomore, Humble, Texas. Jacob Groff, wide receiver, junior, San Antonio, Texas. Alan Guerrero, punter and place kicker, redshirt freshman, College Station, Texas. Aaron Hansford, linebacker, redshirt senior, Washington, D.C. Donald Harris Jr., defensive end, freshman, Liberty City, Florida. Anthony Hines III, linebacker, Plano, Texas. Jared Hocker, offensive guard, senior, North Richland Hills, Texas. Darvon Hubbard, running back, freshman, Akron, Ohio. Shout out to LeBron, by the way. Avery Hughes, defensive back, freshman, Sugar Land, Texas. Houston Hummel, linebacker, freshman, Dallas, Texas. Derek Hunter, defensive tackle, redshirt freshman, Fort Myers, Florida. DeAndre Jackson, running back, freshman, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Keon Jackson, wide receiver, redshirt freshman, Loganville, Georgia. McKinley Jackson, defensive tackle, freshman, Lucedale, Mississippi. Jordan Jefferson, defensive lineman, freshman, Navasota, Texas. Antonio Johnson, safety, freshman, East St. Louis, Illinois. Buddy Johnson, linebacker, senior, Dallas, Texas. Tyree Johnson, defensive end, redshirt junior, Washington, D.C. Reed Johnston, defensive back, junior, Plano, Texas. Ardarius Jones, defensive tackle, redshirt freshman, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Hezekiah Jones, wide receiver, redshirt junior, Stafford, Texas. Jalen Jones, cornerback, freshman, Cibolo, Texas. Miles Jones, cornerback, senior, Magnolia, Texas. Haynes King, quarterback, freshman, Longview, Texas. Braden Cabuzzo, offensive lineman, redshirt freshman, Tomball, Texas. Chase Lane, wide receiver, redshirt freshman, Houston, Texas. DeMarvin Leal, defensive end, sophomore, San Antonio, Texas. Treon Lee Jr., linebacker, redshirt freshman, Tallahassee, Florida. Keith McGee, the second, linebacker, redshirt senior, Houston, Texas. Brady Marie, defensive back, junior, Keller, Texas. Jeremiah Martin, defensive end, junior, San Bernardino, California. Reese Mason, defensive back, redshirt sophomore, Magnolia, Texas. Luke Matthews, offensive center, redshirt sophomore, Missouri City, Texas. Ryan McCullen, offensive center, redshirt senior, Spring, Texas. Justin Millenbrunch, tight end, junior, Austin, Texas. Andrew Merritt, linebacker, freshman, Dallas, Texas. Kellen Mond, quarterback, senior, San Antonio, Texas. Dan Moore Jr., offensive tackle, senior, Beaumont, Texas. Chris Moores, offensive tackle, freshman, Memphis, Tennessee. Devin Morris, defensive back, redshirt junior, Caldwell, Texas. Josh Mouton, defensive back, freshman, Walford, Maryland. Brandon Mowry, defensive end, freshman, Katy, Texas. Moose Muhammad III, wide receiver, freshman, Charlotte, North Carolina. Leon O'Neal Jr., safety, junior, Cypress, Texas. Akeem Ogumene, offensive guard, freshman, Houston, Texas. Kyle Olin, offensive lineman, junior, transfer, Austin, Texas. Ikena Oki, linebacker, redshirt senior, Smyrna, Tennessee. Tyler Ajun, tight end, sophomore, Houston, Texas. R.J. Orobi, defensive end, redshirt freshman, Dayton, Dayton, Texas. Jake Pagel, left side, junior, Dallas, Texas. Jaden Peavy, defensive tackle, senior, Bel Air, Texas. Travis Pepin, defensive lineman, sophomore, transfer, Russ, Texas. Grant Perry, defensive lineman, freshman, Houston, Texas. Cade Penangers, defensive back, junior, Prosper, Texas. Oh, I have a list, people. This is the whole roster. Jalen Preston, wide receiver, redshirt sophomore, Manville, Texas. I'm still waiting on that young man. Devin Price, wide receiver, freshman, College Station, Texas. Isaiah Rakers, defensive tackle, freshman, Woodbury, New Jersey. Blake Reed, running back, redshirt freshman, Bryan, Texas. Grayson Reed, offensive guard, redshirt junior, Cypress, Texas. Ryan Renick, tight end, redshirt senior and transfer, Iola, Texas. Damon Richardson, safety, sophomore, Waxahachie, Texas. Yes, that's a real little part of Texas. It's up there by Dallas. It's up there by it's up there by Dallas, a little bit close to Mansfield, one of those. Drew Richardson, place kicker, redshirt senior, Fort Worth, Texas. Layton Robinson, offensive guard, redshirt freshman, Manville, Texas. Josh Rogers, defensive tackle, redshirt junior, Houston, Texas. Chris Russell Jr., linebacker, sophomore, Dyersburg, Tennessee. Kirby Rutledge, running back, redshirt senior, Uvalde, Texas. AJ Sanders, running back, senior, The Woodlands, Texas. Seth Small, place kicker, junior, Katy, Texas. Anaya Smith, running back, sophomore, Sugar Land, Texas. Blake Smith, tight end, freshman, South Lake, Texas. Thomas Spann, offensive lineman, junior, transfer, Mount Pleasant, Texas. Isaiah Spiller, running back, sophomore, Spring, Texas. Colton Taylor, quarterback, redshirt senior, Houston, Texas. Dylan Taylor, wide receiver, senior, transfer, Seguin, Texas. Garrett Townsford, left side, redshirt freshman, Houston, Texas. Blake Turner, offensive tackle, redshirt freshman, Hallsville, Texas. Derek Tucker, defensive back, redshirt junior, Manville, Texas. Dallas Walker the fifth, defensive tackle, freshman, Nashville, Tennessee. Ethan West, wide receiver, redshirt freshman, Houston, Texas. Braden White, linebacker, redshirt freshman, Florence, Alabama. Andre White Jr., linebacker, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Brian Williams, safety, sophomore, Dallas, Texas. Max Wright, tight end, sophomore, Katy, Texas. Jalen Watermeyer, tight end, sophomore, Dickinson, Texas. Eric Young, defensive back, sophomore, Richmond, Texas. Alex Zettler, defensive back, redshirt sophomore, West Jordan, Utah. I told you guys, man, we have a list of guys from all over, you know. That is just what we're working with nowadays, man. We have a list of guys from all over. Of course, you guys already know who's returning and who's not, you know. So I'm not going to, you know, run through all of that, of course, because you guys already know who's returning and, like I say, who's not. But what I am going to give you are these 3 recruiting classes that we're currently working with right now. Okay, like I say, man, I want you guys to know who these guys are, so when these guys step on the field, nobody will look kind of blind or nothing like that. I want to get you guys a rundown on just who particularly everybody is and when they came in. All right, so this is the 2019 recruiting class. Nationally, we were fourth in the nation. Everybody remembers that. So we were fourth in the nation for the 2019 class. SEC rank, we were number 3. Okay, so this is who I have, and this is who headlined that class. Keon Green, of course, he headlined it. He was the 5-star offensive tackle. Right behind him was the Marvin Leal. He was also a 5-star defensive tackle. Baylor Cupp was right behind him for a 4-star tight end. Nationally, he was number 53. Dylan Wright headlined right behind him. Nationally, 70, and he was a 4-star wide receiver. Brian Williams, 4-star safety. Nationally, number 72. Damani Richardson was right behind him, 4-star safety. Nationally, number 80. Eric Young was right behind him, cornerback, 4-star. Nationally, number 96. Isaiah Spiller, right behind him, 4-star running back. Nationally, 152. Cam Brown, 4-star wide receiver. Of course, he's transferred, but nationally, 203. Elijah Blades, the cornerback, 4-star. Nationally, he was number 4 in his class. Brandon Maury, weak defensive end. Nationally, 234, 4-star. Andre White Jr., 4-star, nationally 312, inside linebacker. Derek Hunter, strong defensive end, 4-star, nationally 320. Keyshawn Brown, inside linebacker, 4-star, nationally 355. Man, that goes to show you that was a deep 2019 recruiting class there. Jalen Watermeyer, tight end, nationally 4-star, 4-star, nationally 359. Keon Jackson, wide receiver, 3-star, nationally 420. Landon Robinson, offensive center, 3-star, nationally 453. Zach Calzada, pro-style QB, 3-star, nationally 487. Ardarius Jones, defensive tackle, 3-star, nationally 499. Chase Lane, wide receiver, 3-star, nationally 535. Terrion Lee Jr., outside linebacker, 3-star, nationally 736. Anaya Smith, athlete, 3-star, nationally 783. Blake Trainer, offensive tackle, 3-star, nationally 799. Chris Russell, inside linebacker, 3-star, nationally 891. RJ Orbo, outside linebacker, 3-star, nationally not available. Caden Davis, kicker, 3-star, nationally not available. And Nick Castellano, punter. Of course, he wasn't ranked at all, and nationally, it's nothing for him. Okay, so that was that 2019 recruiting class. Now I'm going to break down, and once again, guys, please, excuse me, for all the noise. But like I say, man, these kids are having fun, and I'm not going to stop them. Okay, so let them have fun. It's MLK Day. It's a beautiful day out here, and everybody's just going crazy, even the parents. So hey, man, it is what it is. So this is the 2020 recruiting class. Nationally, we were number 6. SEC rank, we were number 4. Ironic, and what's crazy about that, we were number 4, 6 nationally. The guys that were in front of us, so that lets you know if we were number 6 nationally and in the SEC we was number 4, you know who was in front of us? Georgia, LSU, and Alabama. Crazy, right? Hey, man, the SEC is thick. It's thick with talent all around, okay? So we were SEC ranked number 4, nationally 6. So in this class, it was headlined by Jalen Jones, the 5-star safety. Nationally, he was 21. Damon Demas was right behind him, wide receiver, 5-star, nationally 25. Darnell Harris, weak defensive end, 4-star, nationally 49. McKinley Jackson, defensive tackle, 4-star, nationally 62. Antonio Johnson, safety, 4-star, nationally 78. And Antonio Doyle, inside linebacker, 4-star, nationally 89. Chris Morris, offensive guard, 4-star, nationally 119. I hope that he's gotten himself together. Haynes King, dual threat. So remind you guys, man, Haynes King was a 5-star, and they took a star away from him, put him down to a 4-star because of the season that he had, because he didn't have all his returning starters. Haynes King, dual threat. QB, 4-star, nationally 131. Devin Archain, all-purpose back, 4-star, nationally 137. Fidel Diggs, weak defensive end, 4-star, nationally 153. Moose Muhammad III, we're all waiting to see him too. Wide receiver, 4-star, nationally 160. Edrin Cooper, outside linebacker, 4-star, nationally 162. Akenyon Aduna, 4-star, nationally 232. He was offensive guard. Brian George, cornerback, 4-star, nationally number 6. Of course, he came from community college. Josh Mouton, cornerback, 4-star, nationally 370. Isaiah Rakes, defensive tackle, 3-star, nationally 402. Dallas Walker the 5th, defensive tackle, 3-star, nationally 487. Darvin Hubbard, running back, 3-star, nationally 543. Devin Price, wide receiver, 3-star, nationally 552. Blake Smith, tight end, 3-star, nationally 590. Josh Bankhead, offensive guard, 3-star, nationally 610. Smart Chibizo, offensive guard, 3-star, nationally 625. DeAndre Jackson, running back, 3-star, nationally 859. Ernest Cronenberg, running back, 3-star, nationally 117. Jordan Jefferson, offensive center, 3-star, nationally not available. Kenneth Phillips III, outside linebacker, 3-star, nationally not available. So that was a rundown of that 2020 recruiting class. Now we're going to get into our current recruiting class, which is the 2021 recruiting class. And this here should excite a lot of people. So first of all, our crystal ball for LJ Johnson. Remember on the last episode, I told you guys LJ Johnson will be coming to Texas A&M. Okay? It wasn't no doubt about that. I was strongly confident in that. So as of right now, A&M is gaining momentum with national top 50 running back LJ Johnson. Johnson has a top 5 that is made up of Georgia, LSU, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. It has turned into an in-state battle between the Aggies and Longhorns. As of right now, it is 100% lean Texas A&M for LJ Johnson. So I can tell you right now. So nationally, right now, we're ranked at number 7. SEC, we're ranked 4th. Once again, the guys that are in front of us: Georgia, LSU, and Alabama. That is why we're ranked 4th. Like, hey, man, this will be an all-time hit. In the SEC West period, we have 2 teams in front of us. And those 2 teams, it will always be a battle between Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M. That's why it is darn hard to win in the West, man. It is hard because everybody is up in front of you, so you don't know what'll happen that given year. You know, the only one that's been consistent is Alabama, and you know we all know that. But can we dethrone Alabama? By reading these recruiting classes to you, we have the talent to. It's just all about what will we do when it's on the field. Okay? So please believe, I have no doubt about it, that it's coming. It's coming. So I can tell you right now, when we land LJ Johnson, we will not only move up, but we will probably move up to number 5. To be quite dead honest with you, we will most likely move up to the number 5 recruiting class or the number 6 recruiting class. But we will possibly be up there. That is no doubt about it. All right, so nationally 7, SEC ranked 4th. These are the guys that are currently signed and committed. Shamar Turner is headlined by Shamar Turner, 5-star strong defensive end. Nationally, 31. Tumas Adele, strong defensive end, 4-star, nationally 37. Bryce Foster, offensive guard, 4-star, nationally 72. Ruben Faudree, offensive tackle, 4-star, nationally 87. Kendall Daniels, safety, 4-star, nationally 100. Marcus Bird, strong defensive end. And we were in a recruiting battle hard with Texas for this young man. I remember that like yesterday. And Bryce Foster, but we were in the recruiting battle with Oklahoma for Bryce Foster. I remember that like yesterday, man. 4-star, nationally 132. Shadrack Banks, wide receiver, 4-star, nationally 133. Eli Stowers, dual threat QB, 4-star, nationally 166. Elijah Judy, weak defensive end, 4-star, nationally 202, and we stole him from Georgia. Jason Harris, weak defensive end, 4-star, nationally 204. Deuce Harmon, cornerback, 4-star, nationally 222. Jordan Gilbert, safety, 4-star, nationally 284. Drake Norwood, cornerback, 4-star, nationally 287. Trey Zoom, offensive tackle, 4-star, nationally 299. Amari Daniels, all-purpose back, 4-star, nationally 305. Keith Brown, athlete, 4-star, nationally 309. Excuse me on that. Matthew Wyckoff, offensive tackle, 3-star, nationally 436. Albert Ridges, defensive tackle, 3-star, nationally 448. Remington Strickland, offensive center, 3-star, nationally 490. Tyreek Chappell, cornerback, 3-star, nationally 597. Fernando Garza, tight end, 3-star, nationally 711. Demetrius Crownover, I don't know why he's like that. I don't know. 3-star, he's a tight end. Oh, we're moving him to tight end. 3-star, nationally 444. So, with all that being said, this is why I ask myself and I ask you guys, what if I was to tell you that Jimbo Fisher and his staff is recruiting at an all-time level to make this into a national brand and a national powerhouse in the state of Texas? What if I was to tell you that Jimbo Fisher is recruiting this talent to compete with Alabama, as we all know, to compete with LSU, as we all know, to compete with Auburn, Georgia, Florida, things like that, Clemson, compete with Clemson, compete with Ohio State. If you're going to assert yourself into the national championship conversation, you have to have the talent to do it. I'm sorry, you have to have the talent to do it. That is what it's come down to. But you also have to have the coaching in place. So I want you guys to continue to keep this into your head. With those recruiting classes that I just told you, I told you once before, Texas A&M is on to something. And the time is now. The time is now. The SEC West has been put on notice because they all know that Texas A&M is coming. It starts with us, and it starts with the quarterback. There's a quarterback battle that I'm waiting to see. It will be a wide receiver battle that I'm waiting to see too, because I told you once before, our wide receiver room is crowded. It will be a cornerback battle that I'm waiting to see. But right now, Jalen Jones and Miles Jones, because he's coming back, and Elijah Blaze, all three of those guys have that on lock. Jalen Jones, if you're listening, I want him in the slot. I want him to cover that slot receiver and lock him down. All right, so you guys have to understand, we got 9 returning starters on defense coming back for 2021. And as well as the offensive side of the ball, we have a tremendous amount of talent in that backfield as running back. We used to add L.J. Johnson. I can tell you right now, he's not going to step on the field. We can honestly redshirt him because we just have so much depth back there. But the depth that Jimbo Fisher and his staff has brought in is ridiculous. Just be ready. Be patient. We'll get there. I just told you, we just went 8-1 in the all-SEC schedule. The only team in front of us was Alabama, and they went undefeated. Let that sink in. That goes to show you that we're coming. We're closing the gap. Not necessarily on the scoreboard, understand that part, but we're closing the gap with talent. All right. So just stay tuned, people. Stay tuned. But once again, I thank you guys tuned in to the Homemade Podcast Sports. Guys, I'll be getting into the quarterback battle later on throughout this week. So just stay tuned on that, all right? I thank you guys for watching that quarterback battle video. I did not know that it was going to go up that high with the views on it. But I thank you guys once again, man. This is the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host, Jay Fox. Please, guys, follow me on Facebook at Jay Pops. Follow me on Instagram at jpops2020 and also follow me on Twitter at jpops05. And now it looks like I kind of got the hang of Twitter. I'm so late. But it's now starting to catch up to me, okay? So I thank you guys once again. You guys, please have a blessed MLK Day, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you. #GigMag.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the #Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow me on Twitter at JPops, on Instagram at JPops, and also on Facebook at #Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. #GigMag.